Hi everyone, welcome back again. Today we're going to be looking at two things. We're going to be looking at stitch markers and we're going to be looking at the half double crochet. So I don't know if you guys have started following me on Facebook and Instagram, but you'll have seen that Layla, my 12-year-old daughter, decided that she wanted to start her own little swatch and learn how to crochet along as well. But the trouble she was having was keeping her side straight. So I thought, you know what, this is a perfect time to introduce you guys to stitch markers. So stitch markers are a piece of plastic that looks like a bit of like a safety pin. Or if you can't be bothered going out and buying one, then you can just cut a different colour yarn, just cut two little strands, and we can use these as stitch markers as well. So stitch markers are placed at the front and the end of your work. So what I'll do is I'll do a row of single crochets here, and we'll use the stitch markers so you know exactly what I mean and where you place them. And then we will be working the half double crochet stitch, which we're going to pay a bit more attention to, because I think next time round when I upload a new video, we'll start our own little project. Nothing complicated, just a simple one, but we will use the half double crochet for that. So let's get started. So to start our single crochet row from the first video that we did, you remember that we just chain one, turn our work, go into that very first chain there, put our row through and over. So we know that that is our very first stitch done there. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to put our stitch marker into there. So we just go back through the top V there, just grabbing our different colour yarn. We're just gonna pull that through and just place it there, just like that. Okay, and what we're just going to do then is carry on with our single crochet. Okay, so we're now coming up to the end, so we're just going to finish off. So we've got one there, just coming up to the end of our row. So we're just gonna go through, pick up the yarn, pull through, and because we were working a double crochet, we've got the chain two that we would have done. So we're just gonna go again just into that top chain, just yarn over and pull through, and we're just going to put a stitch there. Now this is our last stitch of this row, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our other stitch marker through there. So again, just to go through the top V of that stitch, just there, grabbing this different coloured yarn, looping it through and just pulling it through, and there we are. And that's our stitch marker both at the front, just give it a bit more space here. That's our stitch marker at the front and at the back. And with this, it will help you keep your sides straight, so then it's not going in and out, and you'll know exactly where your first stitch and your last stitch should be. So hopefully this will help you keep those edges straight. So let's get started with our half double crochet. Right, so our half double crochet is very similar to the double crochet. It starts with a chain two, just as our double crochet did. So we're just chaining two so that we can turn our work and move on. And as you can see, I've got the stitch marker in place to show where the first stitch is. But just like the double crochet, the half double crochet, the chain two would count as this first stitch. So we don't need to put a half double crochet in that space there. We would work in the second space, which is that one there. Okay, so just like with the double crochet, we're going to yarn over. We're going to go through, we're going to pull our yarn out, and how we did in the double crochet, we yarned over and we went through the first two loops, yarned over, and then the last two loops. We're not going to do that. This time we're just going to yarn over and go through all three loops there. And there you go, that's your first half double crochet done. Okay, at this point we need to take our stitch marker out because that is no longer the appropriate row to be on, so we'll take that out. And just as I said, our top chain of our chain 2 counts as our half double crochet, so we will put the stitch marker through the top of that chain 2, so we know that that is our last stitch there. Okay, so let's just yarn through again, and let's just carry on with some more half double crochets. So we're just going to just twist it there we are. Okay, so let's have a look at another half double crochet. So we're just going to yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and through all 3. Let's look at that again. So yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and through all 3. Yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and through all 3 that are on the hook there. Just show you a couple more. We're in our last stitch there. Just pull through, and we can get rid of that stitch marker for now. And there we go, that's that done. So let's just pull out a bit, and let's just put our stitch marker in that last stitch that we've just made, so we know that that's the last stitch we will be working in. There we are. Okay, so let's just put yarn through again, and as I said last time, to chain 2 for the half double crochet as well. Turn your work, and we don't need to put a half double crochet in that first stitch there, because our chain 2 works as that space for us. So it's just going straight into that second chain there and straight through. Okay, now what we're going to do is just take our stitch marker out of the last one, find our chain 2, and in that top chain there we're just going to put our stitch marker through again, and a short tail there, but there we go. Okay, and just carrying on with our half double crochet. I think a lot of people do find the half double crochet stitch a lot easier than the double crochet, just simply because there's not a lot of yarning over. It's just once, and then you're just pulling through all the 3 chains. So coming up to the end of our row again, we're just going to finish this row off. And here we can see that we're on our last stitch, which is also the top of the chain 2 that we've done there. So we'll just yarn over, go through that top, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And we'll just take that stitch marker out, and we can put it in the top of that last stitch that we've just made there. just through there, and just tighten up. There we are. So that's the top there now. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there for today. I don't want to do too much. With what we've just done is a row of the single crochet, and then we've just done 2 rows of the half double crochet there. So we're just going to still keep our swatch piece, because if I do want to teach any more stitches, we'll just carry on from here, and you can see all our different stitches that we've been doing. Now there are a lot of stitches that I could teach you, but I think as we go along, I think we'll just learn as we start our own projects as well. We'll also be using the stitch markers as well that we've just used here, so that you guys can keep your projects nice and straight as well. So thanks a lot for joining me again. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you like this video. And as I said, you can always follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. See you next time. Bye.